wanted to sit down and record a video today to really go over what is writing wisdom and create this video to use as a reference in many of the things that I do, since I rely a lot on the process of writing and stream of consciousness writing in particular. I use that a lot for processing and for diving deep into how I question myself. And so I thought it would be good to just have a single video to point you all to for a good basis and understanding of what I mean when I say writing wisdom. So writing wisdom is a practice of using writing as a way to unearth what's coming up from within. So sometimes when I'm teaching a class, we'll use poetry to kind of begin to unearth feelings around something, to begin to move you in some way. And then use a writing prompt at the end of the poem to then spur you to write whatever is coming forth. And the process is really about creating this movement, this kind of energetic movement from within you, and then allowing that to pour itself onto the page in you put your pen to the page, never let it leave the page for 15 minutes, and just allow whatever comes to pour onto the page. I've used poetry to create that kind of feeling of movement. I've readings, certain readings just seem to move us. I'm sure at one time or another, you've been reading a book, even whether it was nonfiction or fiction, it really doesn't matter, but you'll read something that just catches you. It just takes you someplace. That's the kind of internal movement that we're looking to create. So then you can pour that onto the page and let it inform you. Once you begin to write, you want to write whatever comes, just keep writing. And if you ever lose the flow of what's coming and kind of feel like what was coming dried up, so to speak, go back and start with the prompt again, whatever it was, whatever that statement was, or the question that I might give you, whatever that was, just use that to start again. Couple of hints here. If you're in a real emotional thing, is starting to come out, and for me, if I start writing and a lot comes up about my mother as an example, and it feels very heavy and very emotional, I'll switch to writing in the third person, even if it just creates some distance between me and the emotion. So I find switching to writing in third person is very helpful, particularly when it's just tender. It's touching a tender spot for us. So this is the practice of writing wisdom. It's really using prose, poetry, a question, anything that moves us to examine something, and then allowing that to flow onto the page. Now, I use writing. Writing is a very powerful process for me to explore my inner world and allow it to come out onto the page so I can evaluate it. Other people might not want to process in that way. They might just want to sit with a question, sit with what comes up with them, and just process it internally. Certainly, you can do that. You can also choose to process with another person, with someone who you trust implicitly, that whatever comes up for you can be shared without judgment, without, any kind of curtailing it. You want it to just be able to flow out of you, and then you can see it from a different light then, whatever's coming up. I've used this process. I love processing verbally as well. Love sitting down with a good friend that I know I can just say whatever is coming up for me, and it's not going to be judged. They might have some feedback or some thoughts of how they're interpreting it that might give me good things to ponder, but they're still not judging it, or making any kind of good, bad, or otherwise of it. So important things, but I like to use writing wisdom as my primary method of processing anything that comes up. So I hope that gives you a good basis. You will need a good pen, you'll need paper, and you'll need a quiet space. So in any of my other videos, if I've pointed you to this video to give you a basis to get you started with writing wisdom, then you could go back to that video and grab the prompt and dive in. And best of luck. Have fun. All right. Thanks.